AITA if I continued to stretch my ears after my boyfriend expressed how much he hates it, plus all updates. I 30F have been with my boyfriend 30M for just shy of a decade. He's a very clean-cut guy and very professional in appearance. I on the other hand have a sleeve of tattoos, dyed hair, and pierced ears. He works from home as a lead programmer for a company, while I work as a manager or pet groomer. Despite our opposite looks and career choices, we have lots of interests and opinions in common. If anything, I think our differences help balance us out. Some background that may help add context to our relationship. I started getting tattoos before we met, but my biggest piece was done 2 years ago. He's not a big fan of tattoos and has absolutely no plan to ever get any. I've never pushed, but I have asked if he'd get a tiny one with me. It's not a big deal for me, so after he said no, I've just left it. He wasn't a fan of my big piece, but because I've had ink done before, he voiced some concerns about the amount of money I've spent, but left it at that. Fast forward to this past month. I've always liked the jewelry that people with stretched ears get to wear. Some of it looks really cool or pretty, and I, on a whim, decided I would stretch my current piercings. With the help and advice of a friend, I got a kit and have been working on stretching, with the goal being about a 2 GOG max. When I first told him about this, he voiced that he really did not like how they looked, and he did not want me stretching to the point where you could look through my ear or fit a pencil. I told him not to worry and that I'd stop before I got to the generally accepted point of no return. Today I was moving up from a 10 grams to an 8 grams, and he was watching me moisturize and sanitize my jewelry and ears. Once again, he asked how big I was going, and I showed him what a 2 grams looked like. He gave me an unpleasant look and explained that he again really hated how gauges and stretched ears looked. He further went in to explain that stretched ears were not my aesthetic, as it was more punk wear. I fit more into streetwear or gal styles. He doesn't like how they look and doesn't think I'll look good with them. I was disheartened. I took out my jewelry, packed them up, and put them away to maybe discard. I'm now sitting here debating whether I should continue stretching because it's something I want for myself, or if I should honor his wishes and stop. I already pushed my luck with how many tattoos and how big they are, so maybe I should give up on this one thing. I don't want him to think I'm unattractive, so I don't want to change myself past what he's willing to accept. But I also don't want him to tell me what to do with my body. So AITA if I continued stretching my ears after my boyfriend expressed how much he hates it. Update. Thanks to everyone that weighed in. I spent some time reading as many comments as I could. I didn't just read the comments saying NTA or nah, I also read the ones that said AITA and some of the chains that went on a tangent about ear stretching. I couldn't read them all, but I did want to post an update and respond to some of the comments as a whole. I told him last night that I have decided to stop stretching. He simply gave me a hum in response while we continued to make dinner, and we haven't talked about it since. I know, I'm allowed to do with my body as I see fit, and he's free to leave me if he wants. Neither him nor I look, act, or think like when we first met. Some of the changes by choice and others because aging is a thing. Tastes have changed, but I have still chosen him. I want to believe that he still continues to choose me. This choice to stop was not because he told me to, but because, as a lot of people have mentioned, relationships are a give and take. At almost a decade, what I do to my ears or not is not a hill I'm willing to die on. To those of you who have showed concern about the language I used in my post, I am grateful for your concern, and I wholeheartedly believe this is a choice I made, and not a decision based on any fear of abandonment. A few commenters asked how I'd like it if he changed himself in a way that I didn't find attractive. Short answer is I don't have an answer. I'd like to say at this point in our relationship, I am here because of who he is on the inside. While I do believe that to be my answer, I am a human and I am flawed. Maybe there is a thing he could do, but I can't think of anything. I know it seems like I stretched my ears from a 14 grams to a 10 grams very quickly. You would be correct. I read several articles stating that I should wait a month or so. I have also read several posts from people with stretched ears that said to listen to my body. I won't bore anyone with the details, but I opted to listen to my body. Finally, to the user concerned about stretched ears in my line of work, it's not a hazard, I assure you. My GM and a couple of my colleagues have gauges and have never had a dog almost rip one. Your comment made me chuckle because if anything, we're all more concerned about dogs kicking our tools than damage to our body or body mods, and I regret not replying before I lost it in the sea of comments. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.